What's up guys, Owen here from Osney Fishing Adventures, and I'm very happy to announce the start of my new video series, the PA Wild Trout Chronicles. As many people know from my past social media posts, as well as my last video promoting that petition in order to protect these migratory wild trout throughout the state of Pennsylvania and allow them to reproduce better and expand themselves throughout our warm water and cold water fisheries, I am a strong advocate for the protection and better management of these wild trout throughout the state. I can't thank Eric Richard enough for getting together with me, showing me everything he knows about these migratory wild trout, and I still have a lot to learn. I still got a ton to learn from him. I really appreciate him taking me under his belt, teaching me everything that he knows about these wild trout, so I could advocate for these wild trout as well as everybody else watching this video can as well. Without further ado, let's jump right into this first episode of the PA Wild Trout Chronicles.
First cast.
Nice. Wow.
Chased it.
Look at that, guys.
Chased it down. I saw him behind it. Look how clean that fish is. Look how clean his fins are. See how transparent your fins are? See how you can see through them? See how clean they are? See the shape of the fish, the overall shape of the fish?
Yeah.
It's a runner. This is not a resident fish of a small stream. This is a fish that's out in a bigger stream that's heading up into a smaller one. But he came out here to take advantage of the sulfur hatch and the food. You can see the shape in him. Look at the lacquer red. See the lacquer red? It's kind of orange. See how the fins aren't red? If we go further up this stream, the adipose and these other fins will all show a lot more red to them. And generally overall, the fish will be darker. It's in a heavier canopy. This fish is out in a wider, bigger stream, so it's getting a little more sun, and it won't be as dark. And this fish is out here taking advantage of it, and it's just like its parents did, and it has the potential to grow very large.
The flies that me and Eric were using today was a brown stimulator about a size 8 and also an olive woolly bugger which was a size 6. Alright guys. Oh, there we go. Right away. Look at that. Boom, boom. First cast, guys. First cast. Thing just mauled that sucker. Holy smokes. That was an awesome start. Just smashed that thing. That's a nice, decent fish to start off the day. Stimulator eater.
Missed.
Oh my gosh, she just got smashed. Holy cow. Let's go. There you go. I got that on film too. I got that strike. It's a nice fish. Oh yeah. He ain't huge, but he's a nice fish. That's beautiful. Wow. Solid. I'm usually the one catching them on buggers. Look at that, oh my gosh, look at the white on his fins too. That is a gorgeous fish.
On this one, notice the white on the bottom edges of the fins?
Yeah, super white.
Notice that, that's different, that's new. See how much red there is in that adipose? See the red on the tips of the tails? That's different from the other ones. We didn't notice that on the other ones. This one might be just a hair older. Now it's unhooking. Keep his head under the water. How's he hooked? He's hooked around that.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how he's hooked before I start yanking.
Right.
That way I avoid ripping that off.
Yeah.
You gotta force, if it's hooked like that, you gotta force the head back this way and pull it out. You don't want to just pull because it's hooked out. And people just pull out.
Take a close look at the resident wild brown trout Eric caught on the left and a migratory wild brown trout I caught in the same stream on the right. The resident brown trout live their entire lives in the same stream they were originally born in, and are very colorful as well as more dark, due to them living the majority of their lives hiding under the banks of streams, in comparison to the migratory brown trout, which is much lighter in color due to them constantly moving back and forth between warm water and various cold water tributaries throughout the year to survive. Here's a great example of a migratory wild trout that took my stimulator super lightly. I thought at first it was a smaller fish. There goes one. There you go. Nice fish. Nice fish. Woo! That's a good start. Holy cow, I didn't expect a big one like that right off the bat. Oh yeah. It barely came up. It like, wow. That's a beauty. To start the day off of a fish like this, in a small stream like this, you're gotta be kidding me. You see how light that rise was, guys? He barely rose. It was like a very little sip. It was a very tiny sip. Wow. Look at that. That's what it's all about, guys. That's what it's all about. Look at this gorgeous brownie that I picked off. Who would have thought a big brown like this would be hiding under that little cut? Right off the bat. Look at those colors. That is an absolute beauty. Let's get that bad boy released.
He's out of here.
Awesome.
He wanted to see that splatted. They might be eating terrestrials, ants,
Okay.
ants and things,
Yeah.
but he wouldn't take it until I splatted that right there. Did you know
Man,
that?
that fish just, like, a fish, we were just, like, casting, a fish just took it, like, 5 times. I'm not even kidding you.
There, like that.
There he is. That's a nice fish.
He wanted to see
That's a not bad fish.
He wanted to see it splatted.
You're
Did
kidding.
You see that?
Yep.
He wanted to see it splatted.
Nice job, man.
Good
Holy
indication
cow.
that they're taking terrestrials today.
Oh, we got him. Oh, yeah. Wow. Ah, stupid lighting's ruining the fish. There's a big stem right in his mouth right there.
Let's turn him upside down.
Yeah.
Let's grab that fly right there. Get a good idea where it's hooked, how he's hooked first.
Yep.
It's hooked right in the top lip. I'm controlling the fish, but I'm not squeezing it. I'm gonna put my finger in his mouth. Now I've really got control of that fish.
Oh, wow.
And I have leverage. I can control that head. And I have leverage to work against. If you're holding too far back, the fish is flopping.
Right.
And you have too much, it's too spongy.
Yeah.
Get the hook out. I see everybody making this mistake. Put that finger, just roll him upside down. Now when I cover his eyes, look how he calms down.
Oh,
see
wow.
that?
Yeah.
You can cover his eyes. That'll help too. Cover his eyes. Don't make any sudden movements. I'm not squeezing this fish at all.
Right.
I'm just cradling this fish. I want it to calm down. I want it to get its breath. But if I want to unhook it, I'm just going to do that. Okay?
Yeah.
He'll let me do that once he's calm. Now this fish is totally revived. There we go.
Every time I'm about to do it, every time I try to do the underwater release, guys, they just go.
What we have here, in my case, is the best, possibly one of the, if not the best example of a naturalized population of brown trout that exists in the state of Pennsylvania today. And they exist and thrive in a place that we haven't determined to be a trout stream.
Yeah.
That in itself is strong evidence that we don't understand enough about them in order to manage them correctly. They've been destroyed and decimated across the state for their potential in so many of our trout streams, and this is what's remaining of that. And every one of us plays a part in the story of it. And if you know it well enough that you're targeting these big wild brown trout and catching them, then you should know the value of them. And these wild brown trout that have had the luxury of time to optimize their fitness and were started out from good genetic stock that was really extremely adaptable as one of the 30 most adaptable species on the planet. They took off and adapted to it. The fish that were in the streams or in the stock water, the fish that were raised and propagated were adapting also. They also adapted too, and they're one of the 30 most adaptable species. So they have really, over time, really honed and polished their adaptation to survival in the hatchery. 180-degree opposite direction from these fish that have had the luxury of time to adapt to these, and they demonstrate that by movement, and we've never managed for movement. We never considered it.
Next time on the PA Wild Trout Chronicles. Oh, that's a nice cast. There you go. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh. Thank you so much for tuning in, and really hope you enjoyed this first episode of the PA Wild Trout Chronicles. As you can tell, me and my good friend Eric Richard are super passionate about these migratory wild fish being protected, but as well as all wild trout as a whole. If you haven't heard about the petition in relation to protecting these migratory wild trout that my buddy Eric Richard, as well as Russ Collins, one of the presidents of one of my local Trout Unlimited chapters, has proposed to the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission. Please sign the petition in the link in the description of my YouTube video in order to promote the presence as well as the expansion of these migratory wild trout throughout our warm water and cold water watersheds. Thank you, and I'll see you on episode 2 of the PA Wild Trout Chronicles.